Welcome, fellow Cryptopians. Let's have a quick look at the market and see what the market can give us and what we can potentially expect the next upcoming weeks. I also got a list ready for a few high gainers or high performers that I expect to do really well the upcoming weeks. So please stay tuned and let's look what we can see and what the market can give us. Bitcoin right here is looking pretty bullishly. Fundamentals are pointing to the upside. Technically, we have been rejecting the weekly supply level previous few weeks. So weekly supply levels, we got direction from there, but we also created new demand levels. Demand levels are pointing towards the upside. Supply levels on a technical level are pointing towards the downside. So anything above 30 and 35k is also considered bullish territory, but at the same time anything below 50 and 55k is considered bearish territory. Right now technicals are pointing 50-50. However, fundamentals are giving us the edge from a statistical perspective that Bitcoin does indeed still have a rally ahead of us. We have seen a supply shock on exchanges. We never have such a low number of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other altcoins on the exchanges currently. More and more institutions are adopting Bitcoin or buying Bitcoin. We also have countries adopting Bitcoin and getting more and more interesting into buying it. We also have bearish news that's not driving prices down as much as we expect, which is also considered bullish. We have the China news right now, but price didn't really drop that hard as we expected it to do. So the fact that bearish news doesn't have any effect on the market at all currently is kind of a good thing. Technically, I am looking for that 48k level to be broken on the market. That would provide an early sign that the market is gonna rally towards the upside and break weekly supply levels, and we're gonna see a next rally towards the 100k area. So for me, that 48 to 50k area is incredibly important. We also see some resilience, some type of support in the market that's created by this order block right here. But we also have potentially more room to follow towards the 35k area. Bitcoin at 35k again. Whenever Bitcoin at 35k or lower than that is providing some type of accumulation range or accumulation evidence in the market, because right now we're seeing lower highs, right? And the lower we go, the more that I want to see the market turning around, maybe finding some type of support, equal lows, maybe even higher lows, and basically the turnaround, okay? This is very easy to see once you know how to look for it. We right now make lower highs, and if we continue to make lower highs, these leave supply zones intact. Zones like right here that originate from this, but then in a red area. So lower high, again, new lower high. Excuse me. And then again, make these areas red. Again, new lower high, and then once the market breaks these lower highs and makes a higher high in the process, then we can expect a reversal taking place. We can expect Bitcoin retesting the weekly supply levels, and probably the next time we're testing the weekly supply levels, I have a lot of confidence that the market will break these levels. So that being said, in general, I am expecting if the market is gonna retest or at least break structure on this correction right here, it's gonna make this type of pattern where the market is largely right now doing this, reaccumulating, going towards the upside, and right now testing reaccumulation on this correctional wave and going to the upside, something like, oh, excuse me, this should be towards the upside, by the way. Don't want to remove everything. So basically when the market is going to do towards the upside, right? Just making the drawing a little bit more clearly. So basically something like this where the market is going down, reaccumulating Bitcoin, and then breaking out and retesting that accumulation range. A retest of the accumulation range where the market also breaks structure on this wave right here is considered very bullishly. So I'm waiting for that same sign, I'm waiting for that same thing for the market to correct right here and shows me a reversal or a break of structure on this correction. Okay, that's what I expect for Bitcoin, but anything below this area could potentially still see more downside. But again, fundamentally wise, we're in a pretty good position in the market. I am less interested in trading Bitcoin right now, but I am interested in trading a lot of other altcoins. Solana is on the top of my radar. Why? Solana had a pretty big run, very fundamentally bullish, also very technically bullish. We pretty much see the uptrend right here. We have a lot of higher highs, higher lows, and currently right now we're seeing some type of small correction. Solana has dipped from $200 all the way to almost $100. We're seeing some type of support getting formed. We're seeing a first small sign of a higher low. But I really want to see this order block being broken. This is a bearish order block. This is the zone where the majority of sellers currently are in the market. So whenever this zone currently right now is being broken, then I fully expect Solana to break the $170 range and go all the way to the $300 range. So this is a very important area where I'll be looking to long Solana and also be looking to buy Solana for the further uptrend. But again, the further uptrend is only confirmed once we break this resistance. So again, highlighted Solana as the top of my list. The IDX, as said on the previous calls, guys, this one left the station. Pretty perfectly followed my entire analysis, as you can see on my Twitter page. I have put a lot of updates on this. I wrote a technical article about them. I wrote a fundamental article about them. The IDEX is pretty much shown all the signs of a great technical analysis, where the market breached previous highs, made a newer higher high in the process, but still has to take a breather, right? We had to have a correction at this support accumulation range, and what do we see? At this exact support, the market showed us some accumulation range. We don't have to make it harder than it is. Basically, accumulation range, this right here is showing support and having the outbreak. The fact that right now we broke structure on this accumulation range, on this outbreak, leads me to believe that we won't be revisiting the $11 range, but these two POIs might be a next great entry opportunity. So anything the IDX at the previous highs at $18 or at $14. These are the two most interesting order blocks that were created from the entire wave up from here to here. So okay, so anything, if you see the reversal right here, so either way we could see the market doing this. You can see the similarities. I'm looking at Bitcoin, for example, and something like this, where we are looking to long the market because we have the break of structure in the POI, and that's what I'm always looking for, having the break of structure in the POI. Or, of course, we're going lower than that and the market doesn't show us the break of structure, and we're going up, but instead of showing us the break of structure, the market is still making lower highs. And then in this POI, for example, it's showing us the break of structure, right? And then it's something that I'm like to see, because then this POI is invalid and we're looking to test the next POI. Okay, that is also the sign that I saw the market make in this first POI, where we bought the market last week and the XY absolutely outperformed the majority of the market, rallied really hard, and we made the 100% gainer on this. Okay, so the XY a little bit less on my radar because I don't like the FOMO. I'm into this market for 5 years right now, and the one thing that I'm completely immune at is FOMO. Okay, if the opportunity is past, it's past. Then I'm just looking to the rest of the market, right? A lot of other altcoins are going to provide us with more opportunities. Okay, Quant also on my radar, but hasn't filled itself yet. On the daily, Quant needs to break this bearish order block. Okay, this is currently resistance on a daily level, where the majority of sellers are at. Once Quant is going to break that $350 range, we're going to fly way past that range and going to go all the way up to $500. Quant is an incredibly bullish project that I've already been following since $1. Yes, you heard this correctly. Since $1 back in the beginning of the day. Knowing this, I have sold a few of my stack already, knowing that we would ever get to $300 and up. Even though I really fundamentally believed in this one, I would have never sold as much as I did. But again, I made profit on it, and that's enough. We can't always pick bottoms and tops, but we can make profit and losses. Okay, so Quant, once we break this resistance, I am seeing us rally towards the $500 range. On the 4 hour, we might already see a really early entry, although the daily confirmation has still not been met yet. But the 4 hour broke structure right here, where the market broke structure. Okay, basically, wait, let me show it a little bit easier. So the market is right now correcting, making structure, breaking that structure. Right now the correctional wave, and the market is also breaking structure on that correctional wave. So this leads me to believe that Quant might be doing this, right? The higher low, forming the higher low right here, where you can pretty much, if you want to be using a trend line, pretty much show it like this. That this is really the higher low that's being confirmed right now, where the market is breaking structure and breaking this resistance very soon. It's an early sign. Remember, the 4 hour is not a daily, so we don't have the confirmation of the daily time frame. But if we would take an entry on the 4 hour time frame, we would be having a higher risk to reward because we would be buying earlier. We would be buying at $310 instead of buying at like $380 or $390. But both scenarios are fine because even buying after the daily confirmation, we would still be making profit. Okay. Another one, Mina, is currently at my entry point. Mina Protocol, very bullish project, very strong fundamentals and very strong technicals. We have been making continuous higher highs, higher lows. We are rebounding and revisiting the reaccumulation range, this big order block. So this would be a perfect area for Mina Protocol to rebound and see the next continued rally towards back to the all-time high, or the highs right here, if we consider this the all-time highs, for example. But if we not consider this big spike at the beginning of the launch from Mina Protocol, then this would be the all-time high. Once this daily order block here is broken, then I would have even more confidence that Mina is gonna go all the way to the $10 next coming weeks or months, okay? Right now, this is based on a good risk to reward model that this order block is forming great support, but we also still have the resistance right here. And whenever the resistance is being broken, you're gonna have a little bit less of an ideal risk to reward, but the accuracy will be considerably higher, okay? FTT, same thing like Mina Protocol. I am looking at a buy for FTT towards $100. We broke the all-time high. FTT is an incredibly strong fundamental centralized exchange. Probably right now the top derivatives exchange if we're talking central exchanges wise, because I still believe in decentralized exchanges, but we still nowadays, especially today, we still need centralized exchanges to offer us a lot of trading pairs, because the amount of pairs we can get on the centralized exchange isn't on the same level yet, especially also considering fee-wise, commission, fee, spread, etc., etc. But that's going to change soon with the introduction of the IDX, the first decentralized exchange, derivatives exchange. So that's why I'm incredibly bullish on the IDX, by the way. But that being said, guys, this is the bullish breather. Once we break all-time highs, I would never usually recommend somebody to be buying at the highs. That's a retail trap. That's retail pattern wise. We are smart money traders, right? Or basically we buy on supply and demand. We want wholesale prices, not retail prices. Whenever the previous high breaks, I'm looking for a correction, and whenever that correction ends, I'm looking to get in. Okay, that gives me a lot more confirmation, a lot more confirmation, a lot more certainty about buying into the market, right? Right now, we're seeing the correction right here, making the lower highs, the lower lows on this correctional wave right here. Back to the reaccumulation range right here. Reaccumulation ranges are very strong areas where the market usually rebounds itself. So I am expecting something to do like this, where the market is going up, going down, like this, and then going up again towards new all-time highs, okay? On the 4 hours, FTT is indeed showing us that confirmation. We're seeing some type of support, some type of resilience in the market, and this is giving us to believe that the statistical method and the statistical approach to the market is currently right here. If we would break this resistance right here that originates from this order block, which on a daily is a little bit more clear to see. So we have a small, really small order block right here that's currently providing resistance in the market. If the market is beating or breaking this resistance, I really have a lot more confirmation and a lot more certainty that the market is going to go to towards that $100 area. But again, entering early right here is giving us that higher risk to reward model where we can safely, like for example, take a trade right here with a stop loss below the low, and then with take profit at $100 range. Okay, if Bitcoin is going to go up the next upcoming months, then of course the target on FTT also will be a lot higher than $100. Because if Bitcoin, for example, would be going towards 100k area, then I see FTT, of course, also breaking past the $100 range and might be hitting $150, maybe $200, depending on how high Bitcoin can go. The higher Bitcoin goes and the higher Bitcoin rallies, the better it is for the altcoin market, because that means more money is flowing into the market, and more money flowing into the market also means this type of money can eventually lead to other bullish altcoin projects, right? Then I still got two small altcoin cap markets, which I'm currently looking at, that I bought today on Binance Smart Chain, together with MLT. NFTB is the first cross multi-chain NFT marketplace that technically looks very bullish. It only has 20 million market cap. It had a big rally broken previous all-time highs. We right here have the correction after the break of the high, so the correctional bullish wave, as I like to call it, with lower highs, lower lows. Okay, right now forming some type of support. We're making equal lows right here, but we are breaking the highs. Okay, so this right here is a great area to see NFTB rally towards the upside. Okay, so I really see a lot of volume coming into the market NFTB, considering how low it is in market cap wise. I could really see this thing going towards the 50 cents range. Okay, and 50 cents is still 3 times double as from where we currently are, so that should be a considerable percentage raise or gain on our portfolio. Okay, because that would be that would mean that NFTB has risen 200% from where it currently is. Okay, MLT is the same thing. I have been recommending this for months because I fundamentally very strongly believe in them. They are a first mover. They are looking to tokenize the media licensing industry. If you want to know more about them, definitely look them up. I also wrote multiple articles on them on my own Twitter page. So I am very bullish fundamentally on MLT. But from technical level, they have broken daily support, daily resistances. And right now, we are seeing the small correction from hitting the 40 cents range all the way back to the daily order block, or at least 12-hour order block. This would also be a daily order block, but it would be a little bit less visible, but it's still visible, it's still there. So this would be a very great area. Anything between 15 and 20 cents would be a good area to be buying MLT and take it all the way to the upside. The reason I'm still so bullish about this is not only of the technicals, but the fact that their platform is officially launching in November. It's also the same reason why we are technically this bullish. The reason, of course, we're seeing this big gain in price evaluation is because of the fundamentals, right? Fundamentals are leading the pack and are really drawing in the technicals because technicals do have a tendency to follow the fundamentals as a price gain, right? So basically, if fundamentals are bullish, eventually technicals will always follow, okay? Vice versa as well. So based on that fact, the fact that we're not in November yet, I still see another price gain going on for MLT. So definitely look at MLT, or definitely put it on your radar, especially if you see the break of structure on this correctional wave right here. If you would zoom in, for example. If you go to the 4-hour and you see the correctional wave, or at least the break of structure on the 4-hour, then it's go time. But just basing on fundamentals alone, I would already buy this right here at 20 cents, just even without the small-term technical confirmation, because the long-term technical confirmation is already there. It's already being hit. We're just right now having a bullish correctional wave that's going to end up in the next rally, in a new rally, highly likely. And fundamentally, there's a lot coming up for MLT. It has a strong team. It's backed by a giant of an industry. A lot of strong advisors. Again, it's an industry first. Very low market cap. Also 20 million market cap. The same thing as NFTB. So the upside potential is huge. Okay. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, always be welcome to share this video with your friends. Give a like if you can, put in a comment, and make sure to subscribe so that you can follow my next upcoming calls on, or at least market recaps on the market. I also post fundamental reviews sometimes, or at least projects that I believe in. So also keep in tuned, or take a look at my YouTube page for the next coming weeks, because I've just started this and I'm trying to take this to a higher level and provide free value, free analysis for everybody. Everything on my channel will always be free, and I intend to keep it that way, without the influence of sponsorships, etc, etc. Okay, I always like to make my channel free and keep it this way for next upcoming years and basically forever, right? Okay guys, I wish you good success, safe trading this week and the upcoming weeks. You know what I'm looking at. I might be able to update you any further on the next coming weeks, but again, safe trading, and I will probably see you either this week or